Good day, everyone. You are welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm happy to have you people on my YouTube channel. Once again, my name is Tutor Igirigi. I'll be talking about biology practical. But before I continue with the class, I would like to advise or encourage everyone to actually like the YouTube channel. Kindly subscribe, invite your friends, on your notification button in order to get further updates, because what I'll be dropping on this channel will be very important and crucial into in passing your Waec exam. Now, in today's class, I'll be talking about biology practical. Now, as we all know that biology is actually divided into two sections, and for you to actually do well in your biology exam, you must actually pay more attention to your practical question. And for you to actually pass practical exam, it is very easy. The most important thing you just need to do is to do well in your practical, because biology is divided into three sections. You have the practical aspect, you have the theoretical aspect, and you have the objective. But in today's video, I'll be talking more, I will lay more emphasis on the practical question. What are the likely practical questions? Number one, as we already know that Waec has actually dropped the specimen for 2022 Waec Biology Practical. The specimen is already available. In today's class, I'll be talking about the likely questions and the specimen. I would like to intimate us with the specimen and the likely question. Now, for Waec Practical 2022, the first specimen we are the first specimen is the beans. The first specimen is weevil damaged bean seed. The first specimen is weevil damaged bean seed. Now, the likely question that can actually come from this practical can be: number one, identify specimen A. They can ask us to write a brief description about what specimen A, how does specimen A look like. What we expected to do is actually to describe the physical features of specimen A. Specimen A is beans that is being infected or being affected by what? Weevil. Now, the next thing they are expecting us to write is: how does weevil actually affect beans? Weevil will affect beans by what? Piercing what? Hole, because it's an example of what? Boring what? Insect. They can also ask us what type of insect is weevil. It is an example of what? Boring insect. And the function of the weevil is actually to what? Pierce hole inside the beans. Now, they can also ask us again, the likely question, they can ask us, apart from beans, what other crop does weevil affect? Weevil can affect millet, it can affect rice, it can affect what? Crop, it can affect what? It can affect what? Corn. Those are the crops in which what? Weevil can what? Affect. Now, another likely question that can be actually asked from what? From specimen A, they will ask us that why is specimen A affected or infected with weevil? Why is specimen A affected or infected with what? Weevil? Specimen A will be affected or infected with weevil if it is not properly what? Stored. If it is not stored in what? Airtight what? Container. If it is not stored in a what? In a dry place, there's every tendency for specimen A to be affected with what? Weevil. Now, the next question they can actually ask us again is on specimen B. On specimen B, we have what is called what? The bean seed. For specimen B, bean seed. Now, the likely question they can ask us from specimen B: what type of food is beans? Beans belongs to a class of food which is known as the protein. Now, they can ask us for the deficiency. What is the deficiency of what? Proteinous food. Now, one of the deficiency of proteinous food is what? Kwashiorkor. Now, apart from that again, they can also ask us for the importance of what? Specimen B. What are the importance of what? Specimen B. What are the biological importance of what? Specimen B. Specimen B is the protein. Because of that, it helps to what? It helps to bring about what? Growth. It helps to what? Repair what? Worn tissue. It helps to promote what? Enzymatic what? Activities in the cell. Those are the functions of what? Specimen B. Now, for specimen C, they ask us to dry a maize grain soak it in water. That means in specimen C, they ask us to get a grain of maize and we should soak inside water. Now, they can actually ask for us to test for what? They can ask us to dissect the maize grain. After dissecting it, they can ask us to test for starch. Once the maize grain, once iodine is added into the maize grain, automatically specimen C plus iodine solution. Now, for your test, you write specimen C plus iodine solution. What is the observation? After adding your specimen C plus your iodine solution, blue-black coloration will be what? Produced. Once blue-black coloration is produced, you can actually draw a conclusion that what? Carbohydrate is what? Present. Now, another question they can ask, what are the importance of what? What are the importance of carbohydrate? Since we already know that the type of food in which maize grain belongs to is for carbohydrate, they can ask us what are the importance of carbohydrate. Carbohydrate, the importance of carbohydrate. Carbohydrate is what? Energy what? Giving food. It provides the body with what? Energy. They can ask us what are the types of carbohydrates. We have the three major types of carbohydrate. We have the monosaccharide, we have the disaccharide, and we have the what? Polysaccharide. Now, we will not be wasting time because this is a very short video. For us to learn more, I'll be dropping my WhatsApp number, and I'll also be giving e-notes at the end of the class in order for us to what? Follow up with this what? Practical what? Class. Because practical is very what? Crucial. Like when I started the class, I made mention of it. Passing your biology is actually dependent on your practical. Your performance in your practical exam will actually determine your what? Output. Because of that, I will be laying more emphasis on the practical what? Questions, the likely questions that will be expected from Waec 2022. These are some of the specimen. I will not be discussing all the specimen in this particular what? Class. In this particular class, I will just be talking about what? I will be talking about 7 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I will only be talking about 6 of the specimen in this particular class. If you want other informations, I will be dropping my WhatsApp number. You can even comment on the what? Comment section. I'll be dropping a note. I have a note prepared for the what? Possible, the likely what? Questions that you'll be expecting for this what? Practical. Because of that, I am actually creating this channel in order to make things better and to make things easier for students that are actually what? Willing to what? Learn. Because of that, I'll be moving to the next specimen, specimen D, soldier termite. Now, when we are talking about termite, we have different, when we are talking about termite, termite is an example of a social what? Insect. And when you talk about social insects are those insects that undergoes for division of what? Labor. They perform a duty which is known as for division of labor. And we have different cases of this termite. We have the king, we have the queen, we have the winged reproductive, we have the soldiers, and we have the what? Worker. But for specimen D, we are looking at what? Soldier termite. They can ask us what are the rules of soldier termite. The function of soldier termite is actually to what? Protect the what? Colony. And when you are talking about soldiers, soldier termite are divided into two. We have the mandibulate and we have the what? Nasuit soldiers. Now, when you talk about the mandibulate soldiers are those soldiers that possess what? Strong mandible and maxilla. They can ask us to describe what specimen or D. They are soldier termite, and the function of the soldier termite is actually to what? Protect the what? Colony. They can also ask us what phylum does a termite belongs to. Termite belongs to the phylum what? Arthropoda. They can ask us for the characteristics of the phylum what? Arthropoda. Their bodies are divided into what? 3 segments: the head, the thorax, and the what? The abdomen. They are made up of what? Segmented what? Bodies. They are made up of what? Endoskeleton, or they are made up of what? Chitinous what? Material, or a protein which is known as what? Chitin, for what? Protection. They can ask you again, what class does termite belong to? They belong to the class what? Insecta. They are insects. Termite is an example of what? Insects. They can also ask for the what? Biological what? Or the economic importance of what? Termite. What are the economic importance of termite? What role does termite play in the what? What biological role does termite play? Number 1, it helps to improve the what? The soil. It helps to increase the soil fertility. That is number 1. Number 2, termite can serve as a what? A good source of what? Protein. Number 3, it helps in the what? Destruction of what? Wood. Now, they can also ask us where is the habitat? Where can we find what? Termite? Where is termite always located? The habitat. Now, remember that when we talk about habitat, we are talking about the place where an organism will reside. In the place where an organism reside, that is what's called what? An habitat. Termite is always present in a what? In a decay what? Material, decay wood. That can be its what? Habitat. Now, the next one will be moving to what? The specimen F, because of our time, honeybee. Now, when we are talking about honeybee too is an example of what? Social what? Insects. And it belongs to the what? It belongs to the phylum Arthropoda too. And it belongs to the class Insecta. And when you are talking about honeybee, they can also ask us what are the economic importance of what? Honeybee. What are the members of the case present in what? In honeybee, because they did not specify. We have 3 cases. We have the drone, we have the queen, and we have the what? Workers. Now, when they are talking about the drone is actually the what? The king. The queen is actually the female what? Fertile what? Insect. While the workers, they are sterile. Now, when you talk about the honeybee, you can actually ask us for the what? Economic importance of honeybee. What are the economic importance? It helps in what? Pollination, transfer of pollen grain. It helps in the what? Production of what? Honey. It's also a good source of what? Protein. Now, you can also ask us for the differences. What are the differences between soldier termite and honeybee? What are the differences between specimen D and specimen E? Soldier termite is specimen E. They can ask us for the difference between what? Specimen D and specimen E. Now, when you are talking about soldier termite, specimen, when you are being asked for differences, you place them on what? On tabular form. That is one thing you should note. When you are being asked for differences, you place them on what? Tabular form. Now, when you are talking about soldier termite, there's what we call what? Absence of what? Wing. They don't have wings. But when you are talking about honeybee, there's what? Presence of what? Wing. That is one of the differences. Number two, when you are talking about soldier termite, there's absence of what? Compact eyes. But when you are talking about honeybee, there is what? Presence of what? Compact eyes. Number three, when you are talking about soldier termite, they undergo what is called what? Incomplete what? Metamorphosis. But when you are talking about honeybee, they exhibit what is called what? Complete what? Metamorphosis. And when you are talking now, the another question that can actually be asked again is the similarities between specimen D and specimen E. Both specimen D and E belongs to the phylum what? Arthropoda. Both specimen D and E belongs to the what? Class what? Insecta. Both specimen D and E are made up of what? Segmented bodies. Both specimen D and E are made up of what? Bilaterally what? Symmetrical. They are bilaterally what? Symmetrical in what? In shape. Now, both specimen D and E are made up of what? Head, thorax, and what? Abdomen. Those are some of the what? Similarities. I'll be dropping in note at the end of this video in order for us to what? Be conversant with what the likely questions that will be asked in what? Biology what? Practical. I will be talking about specimen G, which is the lower jaw of what? An herbivores. Now, when we talk about an herbivorous animal, now an herbivorous animal is an animal that feed on what? On plants only. Now, in this particular specimen, there was no what? Particular what? Specification. Lower jaw and herbivores with teeth what? Intact. Now, they can ask us for the type of dentition. Now, when you talk about herbivores, they do have what is called what? Canine. Now, remember that we have four major types of what? Teeth. We have the canine, we have the incisors, we have the molar, and we have the what? Premolar. Now, when you talk about the incisors, the function of the incisors is actually for what? Cutting food. While the canine is actually used for what? Tearing. While premolar and molar is used for what? Chewing and what? Grinding. But for herbivores, they lack what? Canine. Their canine happens to be what? 0, 0. I'll be showing you a diagram for the dental formula of what? An herbivorous. They have what is called what? The diastema for easy what? Chewing of what? Material. Now, in the next video, I'll be talking about the other specimen. I'll be talking about the other specimen and the likely questions that will be asked in 2022 Waec Biology Practical. Now, kindly like the page, subscribe, and comment on the comment section and ask your what? Your question. I'll be dropping my what? WhatsApp number for what? For feedback, because I know so many students will have questions as a result of this particular what? Video. I'll be dropping my e-notes. I'll be dropping some necessary videos in order for you to what? Familiarize yourself with what? The necessary what? Diagram. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.